Portia and Shamia's relationship is hanging by a thread. Is Shamia still the glue that's keeping these ladies together? And the return of Phaedra Parks, how did it do for the ratings? Well, we're going to find out here with all that and more on Sounds of Sir Q. Hit it! Guys, I want to say first and foremost, thank you guys for tuning in yet again to an all new episode and clip of Sounds of Sir Q. Let me apologize because, it has been a while since I've actually put something out there. But, a brother is busy, okay? I'm making sure that I'm securing the bag. I'm making sure that I am, staying in all areas of the things that I am really needing to accomplish. I.e., this is one of them as well, which is why I am back with you guys to bring you guys an all-new episode and to give you guys some more tea on what it is that's going on in the reality world. More so, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes. As you can see, Phaedra is now a part of the cast intro. And finally, it's good to see that she is back home where she truly belongs. And let me just say this. Now, we all know that she was on, this past episode. And I feel like, people are just they're ready for the attack. I don't know if it's because, these are a lot of Kenya's fans or maybe Candy's fans. But they're basically saying that, this last episode didn't deliver good ratings. Well, you guys, let's just keep in mind that, Phaedra was only on for just like 5 minutes of the show running. And mind you, she came on at the very end. So we need to just give Phaedra grace and just see exactly what it is that she is going to deliver while she's on the remaining episodes of the show until the finale. I mean, honestly, from what I've heard, my sources have told me that, she's going to come in and she's coming in with a bang. And rightfully so. I mean, that's what, we as, commentators, we as the audience, that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for, more drama. We're looking for Phaedra and her Phaedra-isms. That's what we're wanting to see. So we wouldn't want Phaedra to, let me just say this. I wouldn't want Phaedra to come on and display the same way she did when she first came on to Married to Medicine. I don't want to see that Phaedra. I want to see the Phaedra that we know, that we all know and love, and the Phaedra that's going to really give it to us like we are used to seeing when she's actually on TV. So that's why I'm so glad that she's back at home, on the franchise of Atlanta, and it seems like she's going to be in rare form. And I'm all for it. I really am. I am all for it, and I just cannot wait to see exactly what is going to be delivered from Miss Phaedra Parks. But I also want to say this as well. I know you guys, just watching these previous episodes, it appears that Portia and Shamia's relationship is clearly on the rocks. And it's really sad. It's extremely sad to see that, this platform that they're both on is pretty much causing a wedge and a divide, amongst the two. But let me just say this. I kind of felt like that was going to transpire with these two ladies because I feel like their relationship is like a roller coaster. And we've kind of seen somewhat of their relationship play out. And more so, this stems back, back in 20 17 when that whole ordeal transpired between Phaedra and Candy and Portia. And back then it appeared that Shamea was, she was on Candy's side, when that whole debacle took place. And it left, I feel as if, because she felt a way because of what Phaedra did, but it also caused an even more wedge between her being Shamea, and Portia's relationship. And I don't think they were ever able to recover. But, one thing that stood out to me, the last couple, not the last episode, but I want to say the one before the last, I don't know, Portia made like some sort of comment, and it seemed a little cryptic to me. Honestly, she was saying something about her not wanting to go back to how things was 10 years ago between her and Shamea. And that right there, it struck a chord in me, and it wanted me to do a little bit of digging to see exactly, what it is that Portia was talking about. What was she alluding to? And my sources, I reached out. I always do. But my sources brought me information, and honestly, it kind of makes sense why their relationship has been such a roller coaster for so many years. This probably stems from even before, they started, even before Shamea came on as a friend to the show. Yeah, it's really it's not that good. Not good at all. So allegedly, because I don't know how true this is, I really don't, honestly. It appears that, and trust me when I say this has been very well quiet as kept. I didn't even know anything about this, but when I tell you, when people start digging, they really start digging, and I don't mean they digging for gold. They digging for information they can find to allow things to make more sense. And to be honest, I'm here for that, honestly. But I'm saying all this to say that allegedly it appears that I guess 10 plus years ago, that Portia actually owned a daycare. And it seemed as if she had her mother, Diane, I guess managing, facilitating, what have you. She was pretty much running the show in the daycare center. And unfortunately, there was an incident that occurred where it took a young child's life, and it was a big ordeal. And also, to add on, Shamea's mother was working there as well. I don't know, the whole ins and out as to, what truly transpired. So, allegedly, this, when that incident occurred, it drove a wedge in between Shamea's mother and Portia's mother's relationship. And I guess, it kind of somewhat put a wedge in between Portia and Shamea's relationship. But, throughout the years, they tried not to allow what their mothers was going through. They tried not to allow that to intervene in their relationship and cause friction in their relationship. So, that right there is good to know as well. But it seems as if it's still something that's harboring. Shamea kind of made somewhat of a statement when it came to, that little incident. She didn't really come out and say it, but she was alluding to it. And kind of the same as Miss Diane. And that scene where Miss Diane and Portia, I think they were at a spa or whatever, and they were having a conversation. She pretty much was saying that, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And pretty much she was speaking of Shamea, alluding to Shamea's mother. So, I mean, there is still some unresolved issues there. I just wish we knew exactly like what all happened, what all transpired. But yeah, allegedly that is pretty much why, you know, there is some unresolved friction amongst that relationship. And I feel like since Shamea came onto the platform, it's like this. Since Shamea came onto the platform and she was able to showcase everything about her life, her lifestyle, the beautiful home, mansion that she lives in, what her husband, I mean, pretty much what he is, you know, facilitating for, you know, her family and her lifestyle. The car that she drives, that beautiful Rolls Royce that she got for her birthday. I feel as if, and in addition, looking at Portia and what Portia is pretty much having, like what's being taken away from her. Like, you know, she's losing her marriage, you know, because the home pretty much was in Simon's name, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly. It seems as if, of course, she's going to be pretty much losing the home. If I'm not mistaken, allegedly, the home is already in somewhat of foreclosure. I don't know what has come of Portia and her Rolls Royce, but it seems because Portia is having so much of a loss that it's somewhat causing a bit of jealousy when it comes to Shamea. I mean, you can see it. I mean, of course, she's never going to come out and say that's what it is, but you can tell because she no longer has those things that Shamea has, that, you know, there's a little jealousy there. And you can see when those little shade comments are, you know, thrown, innuendo comments are thrown, you can tell that, you know, Portia she feels a way. And to me, it's sad. I'm going to be honest with you. It's really sad because you're speaking of individuals who are supposedly best friends. But let me say this. I already know how that can be when it comes to having a supposed best friend. They can really surprise you. Let me just say that. They can definitely surprise you with their antics. And it's really sad and unfortunate to see that, you know, this is where Portia and Shamea are in their relationship. And to fast forward, you know, that was we're watching something that has transpired like way last year when they were filming. To fast forward to see, based off like the interviews that Shamea has gone on, and the same with Portia, you can see that there still has yet to have been a resolution between the two. And it's really sad and it's really unfortunate, but I mean, you know, the longer you live, a lot of things that you never thought that you would see, it begins to transpire. So, you know, looking at their relationship, it is sad, but it's not really surprising, especially given the series of events that has transpired in their lives. So, I mean, I would hope that they could, you know, come together and resolve, you know, these issues that have been going on. But I guess only time will tell when it's all said and done. But to me, I just feel as if things could, as long as Shamea maintains that platform on the show, things could actually they could get a little dirty. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because, again, when Shamea, you know, I guess made somewhat of a comment about her mother and Portia's mother, Miss Diane, not really having a relationship anymore like they used to, Portia, you know, she took offense to that. And she took to Instagram and she made this statement. And this is coming from Portia. I'm going to just say this. I'm watching the new episode at Shamea Morton. Now, don't take it there. Don't imply about Diane Williams. I've been keeping it cute and quiet, and you can do and say whatever you want about me. But hear me when I say wrong road. Talking about, well, your mother thought my mom was a friend, knowing good damn well she did what she did to my mom was highly egregious. Don't do what? Wait, don't do it. Keep playing victim and that BS. Don't F with my mom. Wow. That is, to me, that right there is like that made matters even worse. And so I think where the problem lies, and this is with a lot of friendships, when you have grown to know and love each other, sometimes you lose that realness within the dynamic of the friendship. And I feel like Shamia hasn't really been open and honest with her feelings with Portia for quite some time. But I'm gonna say this too. You can also tell by looking at Portia, just Portia's way of handling things is not always the best way. So you can tell that, maybe Shamia doesn't want to go there because she knows exactly how Portia will respond to, her wanting to express her true feelings. And let me just say, if you are afraid of how your best friend or your so-called best friend is going to respond when you want to be real, then that's not really a best friend. Because a real best friend is going to hear you out. They're going to internalize and they're going to be empathetic of, your feelings and your thoughts without you having to be timid of even, expressing yourself to them. And I feel like, maybe that their friendship never was a friendship. Maybe it was all a facade. Because, I mean, if things were really, if things were like how they said it is, then it would be no reason why they couldn't get past it and resolve it. But I feel like there are some deep-rooted things that they have decided to sweep under the rug and suppress. And it's to the point now where it's like a volcano. Like, it's to the point now where it's about to erupt because you have kept it suppressed for so long. And I'm sorry, why not allow it to be on this platform? I mean, we need to understand the dynamic. We need to understand the history. We need to understand, what it is that has transpired to lead you guys up to where your relationship lies now. But look, I digress. There's so much more to that we are looking forward to seeing, even though it is gearing towards the end of the season. But I still feel like, there's a lot more that we need to unravel, and there's a lot more I feel like that needs to be discussed on this reunion. It better be a 3-part reunion. And again, you guys, let's give the show some grace. If the show did lose a few ratings, let's hope that, now that Phaedra is on, let's hope that people are now, going to be, in their seats riding back with the popcorn in the hand, pulling out, putting in the mouth to see exactly, in suspense to see exactly what will be transpiring next on the shows. But, that, again, I digress. Look, that's all I have time for today, you guys. Again, I'm sorry that, it's been a while, but, I'm going to be bringing you guys more content. Keep in mind that we're going to be gearing towards our own end of the season because, I want to kind of strategize for a whole new season and, give you guys some new, fresh content, of course. And that way I can keep you guys engaged too, because I don't want you guys to be leaving me. I do thank you guys for continuously watching and just seeing exactly what it is that I have to offer to each and every one of you. And if you want to know more about me, just, be sure to go to my other social media platform, which is Instagram. And that's at I am Sir Q. I am SIRQUE, and make sure that you get and stay certified with me, Sir Q. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you guys on the up and coming and next episode. Peace. For more information like this plus more, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like and comment as well. And a new episode is coming your way this week.